So I just want to welcome you back to the channel. This will be, well, probably the last riding video of 2024. I don't know when you'll see it. Hopefully we'll get it uploaded before tonight, but I never know. And I just wanted to take a minute and thank everyone for sharing the videos, for liking, for comments, for the questions, for the camaraderie, for the prayers, for everything that you guys have done for me throughout 2024. It's been a grateful video, and my friend Mike Thomas, who kind of introduced me to Buck Brannaman, and he visited with me one time, and we had talked about back in the day about doing a video channel and making it affordable for people, and where rather than like my at-home videos, which are a little more organized, and you can still order those, and I highly recommend those if you're interested. Get a hold of me at pauldietshorsemanship@yahoo.com. But anyways, he said, what would you give to have a whole bunch of videos of Ray Hunt and make them affordable instead of like $50? Maybe it's even only 5 minutes, but make it like $2, $3 for those at home. Because again, I kind of grew up, we didn't have a lot of money, and I was very blessed and worked my butt off to help Buck when I met him and do whatever I could. And again, I see people that go to ask for a job, and I'm carrying 42 different things, and they're telling me their resume when meanwhile they could just offer to help. And that's mainly what I did, and I love to help. And so YouTube has kind of opened that door to help, and rather than it being $1 or $2 or $3 per video, it's absolutely free to you guys. And we haven't made anything to this point on the videos, but hopefully one day we do. But the cool thing is hopefully it's ads that sort of help us to pay for things. But if not, that's okay too, because really at the end of the day, I don't care to be famous, but I truly want this horsemanship to be famous. So anyways, for that note, again, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I can't say it enough. Sorry for the sunglasses. My eyes got some twitching stuff going on, so I'm hoping maybe kind of blocking all this beautiful Arizona sun will help that. But again, pretty relaxed today. And as always, I'm going to start out with groundwork. So we came from the hitch and rail as always, and the high line, and he was pretty good. And again, we'll all be working on, it's like ballet, teaching him to stay back. Then you, learning to balance his feet there for a turnaround. Smallest change in the slightest try. And all these things we work on every day, just like a dance. You might get some beautiful moments, but it takes years of practice to become good dance partners. And I'm really pleased with the progression that he's made. And again, if you go back over some of the other videos if you want, he was a little worried about that. And one of the key things that I think in the horsemanship that gets lost sometimes, especially in YouTube, because it doesn't sell much, is trying to make things look smooth and easy, like it was no big deal. And again, it's a respond and respect without fear. If he gets a little worried, I can come back to some of the other stuff. I don't want him afraid of it. But it's easy to get big taglines and stuff of horses rearing and put enough pressure on them to get them in trouble. The big trick of horsemanship is keeping a horse out of trouble. And the sad news is if it looks good, it's probably a little boring, especially in the early days. But then pretty soon, that little by little we talk about a lot turns into something just absolutely beautiful. And it takes time to achieve that. But again, if you don't work at it, and you don't go through some of those things and spend that time, that little by little time, if you're busy doing everything else, it's probably going to be like it's always been. My friend used to say, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you always got. So sometimes you have to change it up there. So we do work at it every day, and we'll add some things and change some things over time. But I want to make them a winner. And I encourage you, whatever it is, horsemanship, volleyball for my daughter, basketball, football, fencing, to do it regularly. Do it so that it becomes an art form. Put that time in yourself into the things that you love. So he gets a little, it's not bad to bridle, but he kind of evaded there, so I'm glad he did it. I could just come here and kind of block there. But if it becomes a problem, I'll use that opportunity to show it. If I get one that's bad to always reach away, I might go to the offside so that I'm bringing him into me. Now, he kind of has a hard time. There he went to look away, so I'm just going to block and have him flex. Again, soften. He doesn't like to kind of work his mouth there. So, I don't know if I can show it. Maybe I'll get sideways so you guys can see it. Hopefully a little bit better. And in that, he's not real troubled about it, but he doesn't like to open it. And I run my thumb, kind of takes quite a bit of movement there to get him to work his mouth. Now, some people will have a horse that works a bit there. I don't want him to evade. I'm going to just pet him here. When I go to his ear, I might flip it a little bit. I don't want him to evade. I'm not going to crunch that ear. I'm going to run it straight forward and down. And I'm going to go back to that ear a little bit. Again, it's that little evasion. Sometimes they can kind of learn those ticks. And the same thing, some horses, when you work your thumb in that mouth, I go to the back where there's no teeth. Some will be pretty tight. Well, sometimes people will numb a horse from riding because they get them quiet about their mouth. But as a horse gets light, sometimes they might get a little busy with their mouth. And the trick is to get them light enough with the snaffle here. See, that's not very light. Get it change. But to get them lighter with the snaffle than what it takes for them to open their mouth. Well, again, he's a little dull opening his mouth. I don't want to get him opening his mouth. But I do want to get him lighter, and I don't want to dull him up to get them quiet about their mouth. So, but if you're having trouble with that bit, again, you could even use your halter rope off to the offside. Maybe they've been banged in the mouth sometimes. I don't know his history there. Doesn't act like that. But I could get my halter rope off to one side and practice getting him to work his mouth here. I want him to open his mouth a little wider, pick that halter rope up where it wouldn't bang him on the teeth, and let him spit it out. So just some little tips and tricks for the new year. Not really a trick, but to help your horse get a little bit better there about opening their mouth. Again, we didn't do a whole bunch of groundwork, just enough to check him out, make sure he wasn't tight. Anytime I kind of cinch him up, which I didn't check my cinch, but I don't mind doing my groundwork in my McCarty. That's why I have a McCarty here, is so that I can still do some homework. Well, now I don't have my flag. I have my halter and lead rope, so we might check that out. I don't think I've checked that out before. And if he gets to going too fast, I'll just break the hindquarters over there. We'll ask him to go again. That time didn't take so much drive. But he's wanting to kind of fade out away a little bit. Again, he's a little concerned. I wouldn't call it too bad. That's too fast though. So we'll slow him down, try again. Good. Eventually we're going to want to swing a rope on him. So I don't want him kind of hurrying there. I don't want him speeding up every stride where then I got to hold him back on a cow. There's the front quarter. Good. Took a little bit. And again, as I've said before, I'm right-handed, so this is the side I'd prefer him to be a little better on. Because this would be the side that I'm going to swing my rope. That's a little too fast, so I'm going to just make it difficult here. There's a little try. Now he may speed up again, and I'll make it difficult again. It's understandable. When I go to drive, I swing this at him, so it's a difference in direction and energy, and I want him following my energy. Yet if I bring some energy up here, now I'd like him to speed up. Good. And 3, 2, 1, walk. And I'll help him if he doesn't make it with a little corner there. He's like, maybe I'm supposed to speed up. So I go back and forth on that teeter-totter till he finds a place to settle. And then, hindquarters, I want to drift a little ways this time. Move out. Keep moving out. There's the hind. Good. We had a few steps. There's a try with the front. There's another try. Rock back. There's another try. And rock back. Don't lose your weight on your hind end there when that hind end went out. Good. Check him out at a standstill here. Good. And that was a chance, kind of little concerned with his ears, not quite sure what to do. There, that's a little better. Not perfect, but for sure tolerable. Little sigh, like, okay, I think I can handle that. So, again, I don't say it enough in these videos because I get busy teaching the moments so you can see all those moments. But if you guys have questions, fire them out, and it does help if when you see them, if you talk about it, and you say at 4 minutes 53 seconds, that really helps me out. I had a couple questions the other day, and I'm like, which video? Well, I can't remember. And it's hard for me to answer where my brain was at that moment, or sometimes that question, they remember the horse, but like a lot of you, I don't have time to go back and check every video out of each horse. I try to do these. It's great for the clients that are out of town to be able to get to see some things that don't get to be here every day. Just one of those extras, and again, it kind of came about for you guys at home watching it as well. So both for the clients that are away and for everybody out there. Now, I did get a question the other day, and he's a little sticky. Again, he's never had the Armidas on. He seems pretty gentle about everything, so I'm not really worried about it. But it's not a bad idea if you check them out from the ground before you get on. Sometimes that'll bother some horses. It gets soft right away. Again, the softness doesn't always go right to his feet like I'd like, but at least it's a try. And gradually, I'd rather not go through softness to hardness there. So I'd rather release, but I'd like that softness to carry back, say, a long ways. Now, when I back, he kind of backs a little more with his hind to the right. So I'm going to tip his nose slightly to the right here. And it's going to be harder for him, and I'm going to wait for this hindquarters to tip a little left. So he goes straight there when I bend him to the right, and he should have his hind go away from that bend. And that would tell me that I need to do a bunch more backing circles for balance. Whoop, I don't want you to cross over there, with him flexing to the right. That's a right circle. And once he starts to get a little bit better at that right circle, no forward, no front end, I might offer him to come straight back again. Good. He left with me, but I'm going to kind of say, it sort of goes, well, did he just walk off without me? There, we're having trouble. Flexing to the right, hindquarters left. I don't want to run into that barrel. I might have to roll that hindquarters a little. That's the part he's pretty dull at, is that hind stepping over it. And it's both ways. But that's where it gets in my way a little bit and gets in his way, where that flexion doesn't really go down to his feet. There. Good. Now I'm going to roll the hind since he's having trouble. There, stepping over. Good, and we'll continue on back. Again, his hind sticks out there. I'll roll his hind. Jazz. Uno. There, he stepped a little bit more right. Now I'm going to let him come through with the front end and go right back into backing my arc since he needs to practice backing a right circle. Stay back. He's not really softened yet there. There, he softened. So there was a quick release. And he's like, hey, let me just bring that front end through. We've been working on that front end a lot. I want that hind to step over, though, a little bit, too. Good. There's both ends a little bit. I can't really go straight because then he got stuck. So we're going to roll that hind and go on back. There. Good. And then we'll walk off and give him a break on that. And again, that kind of all came about, that rusty hinge, from just getting on. So when I'm riding, I'm wanting to feel that balance point. Now, I'll go back to where I was saying. I got a question the other day. Since he's so bad there about kind of moving off my leg, why not have a set of spurs? And I got nothing against spurs. A spur would be fine there, but as long as we're teaching, I want him to have a little more understanding. But if I was more working on refinement there, I might have a set of spurs because the timing's better. I don't have to kick so big. But I got all the time in the world here when I'm teaching. And again, I do lots of serpentines. Arc to the right, arc to the left. But when I change directions there, I don't want him cutting in that circle. I'd like him to round his rib cage to the outside and then come off my leg. When my legs get active, don't ignore them. I'm not just flopping around out here to flop around. So, and if I can't move him off two legs, I'm going to have a hard time moving him off one leg. So if my leg comes in here, on that side, a lot better. So if my leg comes in and he doesn't move off, I'm going to check him off. I'll offer a good deal, a little bat wing, and then get a change. So that he goes to an open door. And this would be a good opportunity. I don't think I've even done any. There. He stepped over nice. I didn't even need my leg there. He stepped off nice. And then when I sat down in my seat, he found a place to get stopped. And sometimes that momentum can really help. He's pretty flat backed. So the saddle gets a little cattywampus. And we're going to just try to move him out a little bit here. We have loped him before. But we'll just check him out a little bit. There's so much I can get done at the walk and the trot. I don't have to do a ton of loping. But I do want to check his leads out, see how he is. And again, if it's a little bit of trouble coming off my legs, I might liven up a little there. Keep going. Good, work on my soft feel. That's a little fast. And if he gets to going too fast, I can always stop him with one ring. Keep loping. We're not done yet. Come across the middle a little bit. Good.
trot and check him out on the left. Forgot to change my coil, just in case. Good. Good. We'll slow down to my trot, just trot. Don't push through my hands there. I'm going just a hair. There you go. Feel back. Good. And we'll stop. And then I'd like to release. If he pushed forward on that stop a little bit, say he came to here, my hands would stop back here. And I'd wait till he got back in the middle before I'd release. We'll check out backing our right arc. So we'll work on lots of hindquarters to the right for now is where our balance is telling us in the rest of this ride. And we don't need to necessarily see all of that. And again, I'd like my leg to be here. Good. But if he doesn't make it, if I had my leg here and he didn't make it, I might get my leg clear back in his flank there and say, hey, step over to keep that forward. Now my left leg's back, my right leg's forward. I don't want him to speed up. I'd like him to make this left turn. There. It's like I'm twisting him between my legs. If he speeds up, he'll run into my hand a little there, and I'll soften. Good. Keep walking. And then from that left arc, draw him out. I want him a little more flex there. I'll switch to my right arc. My right leg goes back, my left leg goes forward, and I'm not kicking him. There's the flexion. There's the flexion, and there's the feet. Now he's kind of getting a little flat on his feet, so I'm going to ask him to step a little sideways, which he has. There. And again, if he's just pushing, I could take a little power and shove him over here a little bit. But I'd like him to go to this open rein here. Good. So again, if he's too far to the right, I'm going to open my left rein here. So I time up right with that outside front leg because that's where I'm going. That's the leading leg on this lateral movement. Could we change legs? He doesn't change his rib cage there, so I help him a little bit. I draw short. Good. He got a nice little soft feel. Good. Fix release. Fix release. I don't try to carry him at this point. Fix release. Whoop. A little more flexion. Good. Borderline on that flexion on being picky. I try to be particular, not picky. There, he started carrying that, but not trot. And off to the left. And it's best when dancing, I want to go right through the middle. There we go. Good. I didn't have to fix too much there. And then I got a line out here towards that flag. Good. And then right turn's worse, so then I might make another right turn towards the barrel. And if he starts to pass it, I'll hook that right rein on it. Then I'm going to pick another out to the barrel. Fix release. So I might have, there we're following the right arc. I might have several fixes and releases. Now I'm going to go to the tip of that pole, so I focus on it, but I haven't passed my mark. And as I start to get on my line, I'm going to start to fix that line so he doesn't take that rein. And then we'll pick another spot over to the barrel. He's trying. Good. There he's on the line, so I'm going to pick another line. Good. And now we'll pick off to the right. I got a pole over here. Good. Just a hair too far left. But again, there's a difference between being particular and being picky. So as he gets a little more refined, that was really nice with the hind. Really nice starting to follow a flow. That front. There. Just a little more life there. Good. Diabetes alarm going off. Not sure what's going on there. Choke up my reins on the little neck horse. Good. Good. And I like to start off, if I'm going an overhand, I'll start off with the left arc, so the flow is going the same direction. Good. And if I'm going to go on my right arc, again, he's a little green for one hand. I'm going to shorten my right rein a little bit. I'm going to get my reins separate from my rope, and we'll swing a hula hand to the right. Good. Try not to whack him on the rear end. Lengthen my right, shorten my left. Through. Old habit. Again, there's that crooked spot. I'm going to straighten. There we go. He sees that rope kind of coming out there. I don't want him to be afraid of it, but it kind of helps him get a little lighter off the end of that. Might have some trouble. Again, this is nice if you do it from the fence the first time, but when they're pretty gentle, just give them a minute there to think about it. There we go. Good. Pretty good. And we'll just pet him. See, no big deal there. And that's a good place to start, and hopefully we got that on video, but if not, then you guys won't get to see the first time I swung a rope on him. But it won't be the last for sure, either way. Whoop, a little too far there, buddy. And again, he's heavy on that side, so we're gonna back our right arc. Not finding that flexion, so we're gonna bend, take the hind, we're gonna take the front a little this time. Good, and then come on back there in an arc. Whoop, it's heavy on that front end. Roll your hind over there. Roll your hind over there. He's like, I don't know about that rope there. Come on. Little front end. Good. There's the hind starting to go. But you gotta keep drawing back there. Gotta keep drawing back there. Gotta get light off my hands. You're just kind of dragging your feet. There's a try. And you see how quick it stopped. Got right back to being hard and sticky. Step over, but don't blow your shoulder out there. There. Good. Don't want you leaning on that shoulder so much either. There. Good. Want to quit it right. I don't want to quit when they're crooked there. And that's where sometimes perfectly fine to do it, but when you've had a big change on something, be careful doing just a little bit, because you don't want to quit it wrong there. But you might get completely taking something away that the horse really needed a nice change for. So anyways, like I said, I guess I will see y'all next year in 2025. Hopefully I get to see in person somewhere down the road at a clinic or here at the ranch. Any questions, feel free to let me know. And again, thanks for sharing. Happy trails. Enjoy the trail.